Hello, hello, hello. Here we are again on our journey through the discography of Pulp. Not that anyone's watching, this is you and me. Very intimate. And this is the fifth studio album, Different Class. Originally released 30th October 1995. This was the big one. Originally, again, the CD, and I think the original album came with cutouts. This was all cut out, and you could make your own sleeve. Yeah, you can make your own sleeve with, I think there was 6 double-sided inserts in the CD that you could swap out and create your own cover, which was interesting. Again, I bought this on the day of release because this was a massive, massive album. Produced by Chris Thomas, Roxy Music, For Your Pleasure, and Siren, etc. So yeah, they're comparison to Roxy is now complete. For 1995 really was the year of Pulp. It's the year that they absolutely smashed it. It all begins with Common People, the single, 22nd of May 1995. Again, bolstered by the fact that it included Sadie Frost in the video. She was a very big face on the whole Britpop scene, which is I think she had her own band, didn't she? Didn't really do anything, So it's a very iconic video in a supermarket. Jarvis in a giant supermarket trolley. Again, this is aped by Radiohead's Fake Plastic Trees, isn't it? Do you remember Fake Plastic Trees? Who remembers that? I'm sure Tom York was in a shopping trolley in that as well. But yeah, it's a massive song, edited for radio, and it's that idea again about back again. The album's called Different Class, and it can mean very. It can mean many different things. It can be that something is separate from another thing, or we can actually be talking about the British class system, which again I don't think the whole world really can get a grip of, because the British class system is probably unintelligible to those outside of the UK, and it still holds mysteries to me after all these years. So there's many different meanings to it, and the Common People kind of chimes in with that idea that somebody from a different class would want to go down to slum it. I think the term is slumming it, isn't it? Because if you've got money and you come from the upper classes, some get aroused by the idea of slumming it and seeing how the common people live, and that's what the song is about. And I think again, this and Joyriders, in terms of theme, again, there's a lot of themes on this album that are repeated from His and Hers, and that's one of the issues I have with it. But Common People, I think, is up there with Girls and Boys by Blur as a real good indicator of the time. It's a top song, and I have fond memories of dancing to it at an office party with the missus once. When I could still boogie. But it's a very strong song, and I still have a lot of time for it. And that indeed is the clarion call for the record. But the album doesn't open with that. See, I'm jumping here. It begins with Misshapes, and again, there's another theme on again that the band has been explored before about being different, being weird. Oh, we're weird, man. And again, it always makes me laugh because by the 90s there was nothing really weird anymore, because it'd all been done in the 60s and the 70s, and so you get it now with with youth culture. You know, they think that they're, you know, reinventing things, and you just, you know, again, if somebody's ever, you know, you go, yeah, what you're fighting against, you know, conformity's been, you know, been smashed several times over. So I find I don't like the song. I'm going to come. I mean, this is their best album, and well, I don't think it is, but you know, won the Mercury Music Prize, and you know, and as years gone by, I like it less and less. It's kind of dropped down as the years have gone by, because again, I think I've appreciated. I like his, and I've always liked his and hers. Pencil Skirt, again, that's another song about a bit like Pink Glove, fetishising clothing. Common People, the single which I talk about, is the best song on the album. Really, really cool, really good. I Spy, voyeurism. We've done that theme before. Again, Cocker he draws on a few themes in his writing: women, voyeurism, sexual gratification, sexual disappointment in general, perversion. You know, it's you know, and his paint palette is wearing a little thin now, because he keeps using the similar themes. This is just for me. Disco 2000, which steals the riff from was it Laura Branigan's Gloria. God, I hate this song so much. And again, a lot of bands were looking towards the end of the millennia, and this again alludes to that, and it also alludes to many of the theme nights. You know, a lot of clubs have theme nights, whether it's a 70s theme or this one's a Disco 2000. But of course, we're going to party like it's 1999, aren't we? Or on sale for 1999, to quote The Simpsons. I hate this song with a passion, because again, it was really played a lot, and it's real. I find it really clunky. I find the lyrics really clunky, and but hey, the kids like it. Live Bed Show, again alluding to, you know, God, that was a sign you used to see up on the streets of Soho, didn't it? Something's Changed is almost like a ballad, and I quite like it, even though it is a little bit underproduced. It needs a bit more work on it. It feels a little bit, you know, a little bit clunky. But my second favourite track on the album is Sorted for Ease and Whiz. Again, that's The Postman. Can't be a mo. Now, if I've been clever, I've edited that out. Only the early people would have seen the gap of me going to see The Postman. But yeah, Sorted for Ease and Whiz. Again, it's another story, anecdotal song, and it's based on Jarvis Cocker's experience of rave culture back in the day. But yeah, what is Ease and Whiz? With E is obviously it's MDMA or ecstasy, yeah, and Whiz is amphetamine, speed. And if you listen to songs, it's based on Cocker's actual experiences of going to raves. There was a big thing in the late 80s where, again, illegal raves were like the big thing at the time, and people would descend onto farmers' fields, silos, empty factory units, to have a good time. And this song is all about that, and I really like it because it's all celebratory at the beginning, and at the end it's like, you're left on your own in the middle of nowhere, and there's a big come down. And I just think it's one of the better songs on it. It was released as a double A-side with Misshapes, and it got into a lot of trouble at the time because of the sleeve. I think the sleeve because there was drugs references, and yeah. But again, it's not a celebration or a condemnation of drugs. It's just stating a time, And then for me, the album kind of it gets really dull. You got A Feeling Called Love, which is 6 minutes and 1 second, and again, my interest after that song, after Sort of Reason, was my interest in the album just kind of dissipates. Underwear, Monday Morning and Bar Italia, and then the album concludes. Again, I think maybe the pacing of the album could have been moved around a bit, and I think Sorted Freezer Whiz would have been a much better ending to the album because of the desolate, because it's kind of real desolate ending to it. And I like the sound of there's a kettle boiling, a whistle from an old kettle on the song, which always, in terms of production, always jumped out at me. But yeah, over the years, I mean, I remember really liking it at the time, but again, when on subsequent listens, like now, I just much prefer His and Hers or We Love Life as the album format. I mean, crikey, even the next album I find easier to, This Is Hardcore, I find a lot. Again, it's about me. I talk about albums as an art form, as a complete package, and I feel that, again, it's just my opinion, you may have different opinions. I feel that that last section after Sorted just kind of just loses some of its focus. But again, it was big. I played it to death at the time. Maybe I'm just, maybe I just played it too much. And you can play albums too much to the point of indifference. And yeah, this was a great time for the band. And it again, if you think about where they had been merely, crikey, 12 years previously, it took them 12 years to get to this point, but they were everywhere, and but yeah, it's an interesting centerpiece around the other album, in which the other albums revolve. And what I find interesting is how, for me, the album has changed over time. Whereas His and Hers has always been I've always felt it's a really strong album, and I came to it before this. I'm not one of those people that jumped on with this album. I was with the band with His and Hers. As time passes, that album I always gravitate to, or We Love Life, which I've got a lot of time for. So yeah, it's a fascinating album. Again, it's got all the Jarvis Cocker's themes, on there for you to enjoy. So yeah, I mean, cracky. It's for many, it's a truly great album. I think it is a truly great album. But like I said, as time's gone on, in terms of their discography, I enjoy, other material. So there you go. Oops, let me just get the record. It slipped out of view there. So this is it. This is Different Class by Pulp. I think it's got an inner bag as well. Yeah, with the different variations of the sleeves that you could put in, each featuring a cardboard cutout of a member of the band. I think the Nick Banks one is the funniest because he looks like he's about to get run over by the bus. I think I should have put him in front of the bus. So yeah, it's good bit of sleeve design as well. Anyway, thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say. By now you should know what that is. Now, ta-da!